Once there was a high school boy who was bright, talented, and hardworking. He seemed to excel at everything he did. Whether it was academics or extracurriculars, he always stood out. But there was one thing about him that drew unwanted attention. He wore big, thick glasses, and as much as he shined in his studies, his classmates saw his glasses as an easy target for mockery. At first, the jokes were small, a few remarks here, some whispered giggles there, but soon things took a darker turn. Every time he walked down the corridor, it felt like eyes were on him, sneers waiting to erupt. If he raised his hand in class, the whispers would start. If he handed in a project, the snickers would follow. Even at the playground, he couldn't escape. The constant bullying began to chip away at his confidence. What once was a place of learning and joy had now become a place of dread. One day, unable to bear it any longer, he went to his favorite teacher and poured his heart out. "Sir, I don't feel like coming to school anymore. No matter what I do, they laugh at me. They have made me feel so small, like I don't belong here. Could you please talk to my parents and convince them to transfer me to a different school?" He pleaded, his voice heavy with exhaustion. The teacher listened patiently, his eyes filled with empathy. After a thoughtful pause, he spoke. "I understand, and if this is truly what you want, I will talk to your parents. But first, would you be willing to do one thing for me?" Desperate for relief, the boy nodded. "Of course, sir, anything." The teacher handed him a spoon and placed a lemon on it. "Here's your challenge," he said, with a gentle smile. "Hold the spoon in your mouth, balancing the lemon on it, and take one full round around the school. Come back to me once you are done, but remember, don't let the lemon fall." The boy was puzzled, but agreed, thinking it might lead to a solution. Taking a deep breath, he put the spoon in his mouth and set off. Step by step, he walked through the school corridors, the spoon gripped carefully between his teeth, all his focus on keeping the lemon steady. As he passed through the hallways, he could hear the same familiar voices, jeering and giggling. Some classmates even followed him for a bit, mocking and laughing at the unusual sight. But this time, something was different. His focus wasn't on them. It was entirely on keeping the lemon balanced. He didn't look left or right, didn't flinch at the laughter. He simply focused on his task, one step at a time. Finally, after what felt like a small eternity, he returned to his teacher, the lemon still intact on the spoon. With a mixture of relief and pride, he exclaimed, "Sir, I did it! The lemon didn't fall even once." The teacher smiled and asked, "Tell me, did anyone tease you while you were walking?" The boy nodded. "Yes, sir. They laughed at me just like before. Some even followed me for a bit. But I didn't let it bother me." "And why not?" the teacher asked, his gaze intent. The boy thought for a moment, then answered, "Because I was focused on the lemon and the spoon. I didn't have time to pay attention to anything else." The teacher's smile widened as he spoke gently. "Exactly! You see, my boy, life works in the same way. People will always have something to say. Some will try to bring you down, make fun of you, or discourage you. But if you stay focused on what truly matters, your goals, your dreams, all the negativity becomes just that, background noise. It's up to you to choose what you focus on." The boy felt a weight lift from his shoulders as he listened. The teacher continued, "Remember, it's easy for people to criticize, to point out our flaws, and to judge. But they only do it because they are not focused on their own paths. And you, with all your gifts and your kindness, you have something they don't: purpose. Let their words fade into the background. You hold the power to ignore their voices and keep moving towards your dreams." A spark of understanding lit up in Boy's eyes. He finally realized he didn't need a new school or a new environment. What he needed was a new way of thinking, a way to drown out the voices that didn't matter and stay focused on the things that did. The teacher gave him an encouraging smile and asked, "So, do you still want me to talk to your parents?" The boy looked up, his heart lighter, his spirit renewed. "Not at all, sir," he replied gratefully. "I have found a new motivation and I have learned a lesson for life." And with that, he left knowing that no matter where he went or what people said, he had the strength within him to stay focused on his own path, unshaken by the noise around him.